Hey, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to talk about some spring releases that I am interested in. So these are books that are coming out in April, May, June of 2025. And yeah, they, for one reason or another, have piqued my interest and I want to check them out and I want to share them with you. So let's dive in. So the first book I want to talk about comes out on April 29th, and it is The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. And this one, it just has a really interesting premise, like Chuck Wendig's books tend to do. It's about these group of kids who are high school aged, and one day they are camping in the woods and they come across this staircase that leads to seemingly nowhere. And one of the kids goes up there, and then the staircase, he disappears and he doesn't come back down. And then 20 years later, the staircase reappears, so the friends sort of reunite to hopefully find their friend and figure out this mysterious staircase. So to me, it kind of seems like it's gonna have some coming of age stuff. It kind of gives me It vibes, only in the sense of like you have this group of people who were bonded as kids and then they have to meet back up as adults to do their thing. And so it just interests me. And you know, Chuck Wendig's books, like I said, they always seem to have really unique, or there's always something about them that gets me interested. I don't always feel that they deliver, but this one might. So the next book I want to talk about comes out on May 27th, and it's Stephen King's new book, Never Flinch. And this one, you know, I'm going to read it because it's Stephen King's newest book. And it is a kind of a thriller, I would say. I don't know if it has any sort of supernatural slant or not, but it has to do with a police department receiving a note where someone is threatening to basically do some sort of mass killing. And so they're trying to figure out who wrote the note and whatnot. And then they bring in Holly Gibney, who is a character that has been in many of Stephen King's books recently. And so she kind of joins them, helps them investigate. And yeah, so like I said, I'm going to read it because it's Stephen King's newest book. Holly Gibney isn't my favorite Stephen King character, but he keeps wanting to bring her back into things, so I'm just along for the ride. I don't think I love her as much as he does, but I'm gonna read it anyway. All right, my next spring release comes out on May 13th, and it is Immaculate Conception by Ling Huang. And I wanted to read this one because I really liked this author's last book, Natural Beauty. I thought it was really atmospheric and just strange, but also beautifully written. And so this one deals with two friends that are in art school together, and they have sort of this codependent, sort of unhealthy friendship. And then I think one of them moves on, I think gets married or something and starts to have success, and the other one can't handle it. And so it has to deal with sort of obsession, especially in like a friendship with two females and that whole thing. So I know it's gonna probably go to some weird dark places, and it's gonna have really good writing, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Speaking of beautiful writing, the next spring release that I want to read is Ocean Vuong's new book. It's called The Emperor of Gladness, and it comes out on May 13th. And I read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, was it last year or the year before? And the writing was beautiful. And so again, I just saw, oh, Ocean Vuong has a new book out. I'm gonna read it. It doesn't really matter what it's about, but I will tell you what it's about. It's about a young kid who, I think he's like 19 or so. He one day is contemplating suicide. He's standing on a bridge ready to jump, and this elderly woman kind of hollers to him and basically stops him. And then they kind of develop a relationship. He becomes her caretaker, and you sort of follow them over time and how this like seemingly, odd pair really bond and help each other. And so it's gonna have beautiful writing. It's gonna deal with heavy topics, but also really examine human relationships and things like that. And I just think it's gonna be great. I'm really excited about it. And then the last May release is coming out on May 8th that I want to read, and it is Silverborn. What is the subtitle? Silverborn, The Mystery of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the 4th book in the Morgan Crow, or Nevermore series. So I can't really go into the plot or anything because I feel like it would probably spoil things, but this is a middle grade series that I've really enjoyed. It deals with a magical city and a school, and it's a really cool series, and I've been waiting for this one. I feel like it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, so I'm hoping that it really is coming out in May and that I can read it, because I feel like it's been a minute since I read the 3rd book, and yeah, I'm ready for the 4th one. I want to find out what happens with Morgan. And then the last book that's coming out this spring that I am interested in is coming out on June 3rd. It's called Strange Houses by Uketsu, so it is translated from Japanese, and it's just this little short horror novella about a horror writer, I think, or just a writer, who is approached by somebody who is buying this house in Tokyo, and it seems to have a weird floor plan. The floor plan keeps changing, and so he kind of goes there to check it out, and I'm assuming weird stuff happens. So this obviously, to me, gives off House of Leaves type vibes, and that whole premise is just really cool to me. Haunted houses or sort of weird mystical houses is something I really enjoy. So I am very intrigued by this one and want to check it out. All right, so those are the spring releases that I'm interested in reading. Let me know down below if these books are on your list for spring, or let me know if there's any books that you think I missed that I should be checking out. I know typically on this spring list, I usually will have Riley Sager because he puts out a book pretty much every June-ish. But this year, the book he's coming out with, I don't even remember what it's called, but I read the synopsis and I honestly am not interested in it. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. I don't know, let me know, should I? All right, so that is it, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.